Alright, today is 13th of June, and I want to try out two cameras, and I got a cat helping me out here. So what I'm going to do is go out and reset the alpha octoring, come back in, make a fire, and we'll see how it goes. I got all the data acquisition systems running. I'll turn this one on when I come back. Alpha unit has been power cycled. Turning on data acquisition system, working on the T. We'll just wait for a minute here while the system's reset. Alright, we are ready to make fire. I'm just going to do a little baseline. So this system, it's an S244 stove. I've been using it for testing for a couple years now, and it does fine. Alright, let's start loading up our fuel. I've got quite a bit of ash in there. So I don't have any control over the stove. It's all by the duct fan, the trundling. It works fine as long as the smoke doesn't come into the room here. I'm okay with it. Alright, so we just got paper right now. I've got other fuels ready to go in. Let's see. Clean my glass a little bit. We always like to see our fires. I haven't run a fire in the stove because it's the middle of June, and I've been doing candle testing and bench testing on the Adams unit, also getting the St. Helens unit sent out to the University of Berkeley. Keeps me busy. Not the best clean, however, I think I can make a fire here. I'm going to turn the lights off, be a little bit better. So the B-roll camera is looking at the fire and my display. And I'm gonna have some tea. Okay, so the B-roll unit has indicated we've gone over 20% opacity, so it's turned red and it's flashing. That is one of the indicators. Right now there's no mitigation system. You know, I'm the operator, so I'm the mitigator. So what are my choices? Well, I can disturb the fuel. I can let more air in. And that does tend to, I mean, this is just paper burning and the stove is cold. You typically have 20 minutes to get your stove in compliance. See if I can do this without hurting myself. So I just put in some CNC shavings of cedar, and that ought to raise the temperature a bit. If I crack the seal on the door, I get a lot more air in at high velocity. And we've gotten it back down below 20%. Good for us. We're back in compliance. I'm going to raise the trundling up. It tends to run good at about 1/3 off the bottom. So this is the opacity plus the color, and we're using a UV light source, UVC light source. This is the PM 2.5 down here. We've raised the PM 2.5 in the room ever so slightly. So now I'm going to put a small piece of wood on. My stove temp is 107. Pretty good. I can still grab the door with my bare hand. It's not warm. It's not overly hot. Some more chips. More shavings. Let that bake for a little while. Sip a cup of tea. Oh, we're up above 23. I'll open the door here and see if we can get some flames there. We've transitioned to flames. If you open the door too much, the velocity drops. Okay, we're back in compliance. So me being the operator makes me the mitigator. Operator mitigator. Ah, tea tastes good. All right, our stove temperature is 123. Opacity is 14. another scoop ready. Some more cedar shavings. And our PM 2.5 is rising, 63. Stove operator is going to breathe more smoke than someone who's farther away from the stove. Alright, I'm going to up the trunge length of my draft. We're about 2/3 now. Draft tends to reduce your opacity, but right now I'm trying to pull air through to get my PM 2.5 to drop. Alright, I'll bring it back down. Sip some more tea. All right, our stove temperature is 132 degrees. Our room temperature is about 60 degrees. It's a beautiful sunny day in June. The morning starts off cool and damp, and then later in the afternoon it'll be 70 degrees. But at this stage, we're not over 20%. We're about 10. I'm going to add a little flame. Torch is your friend. Puts about 1 kilowatt of flame into your fire. We're all good. I'm going to go look at the stack. Make sure the opacity monitor's telling us what we think we should see. Stove temperature 133. Put another batch of shavings in. when we have flames, our opacity tends to be below 20%. We're about 18 and a half right now, or 15. Good. I'll open the door and I'll see. I'm just letting a sliver of air in, but it's pretty high velocity, so it really makes the flames lay over and dance. Closing it, and then we're back to normal operations. Now I can lower the trundling draft. I can raise it, and I'll raise it all the way to the maximum here. And when I raise it to the maximum, I can really send a lot of air through there. If I open it all the way, it really doesn't help because it doesn't disturb the flames. It tends to run best right in the middle. All right, 13, we're looking good. There's not much we can do. We just gotta wait because our stove temperature is 135. I can address my tea. We're looking good. I wouldn't touch anything right now. We're at 11% opacity. You barely can see any smoke coming out of the chimney. I guess that's what I should do, is I should take the A-roll camera and go outside and look. All right, let's do that. We are at 12%. Let's go look at what 12% looks like. Alright, there's my chimney. Can't quite see my screen. That's the alpha unit, and that's the smoke coming out. I can see a little bit of smoke. I'm not sure it comes through on the camera. That's about 12%. I'll go back in and look at it. %. Yes, 12%. 12%. $11.7. So that's what 12% looks like. That's barely seeing any smoke coming out. All right, we'll go back inside. Sorry, I cover it up so you don't see what I haven't cleaned up. Trying to do all this live, it's more challenging. 10%, 11%. Looking good. I think we're totally legal today. We spent very little time over 20%, and we're still in the first 20 minutes of startup. So we're looking good. my tea again. Alright, we'll just let this sit here. Both cameras still have some battery to them. Oh, yeah, my B-roll camera's gonna run out of battery here pretty quick. We'll just run it as far as we can. I'll put all this in a video. Maybe I'll put some music on it. Oh, I know what I should do. I should do an overview. Turning on the lights. Alright, so this is my test setup. I'm going to pan up to the truncheon. So that's my draft inducer right there. I could dial it up, dial it down, and that's because I have a horizontal chimney. I need this. The other thing I have, and I'll have to move the tripod for this. See what I mean? Come back down here. Back over here. This is my convection fan. I built that fan and it's working great. So I'll dial that up. And that's for your convection air. And when this stove is hot, I crank that thing all the way up. And when it's warm, I back it off. But I always have it running just a little bit. It's two fans in one, and I really like it. Alright. I don't think there's much more interesting We're at 9%. We're at 152. For this stove, about 250 is operating temperature, 300 is operating temperature. I'm not planning on putting more fuel in. I'm going to disturb the fuel I've got in there right now. I think that's good. I mean, this stove, I could run it the rest of the day and try. And every time I put fuel on, it would go over 20% briefly. But since I know that, I can correct for that. All right, I'm going to shut the cameras down.